Okay, we have to discuss about the basic structure of statement of financial position, right? This is the structure for financial statement of financial position without adjustments, right? Without adjustments, we can prepare like this, right? This is the basic structure. So first, normally we have to use separate page to prepare this statement, right? At first, we have to write the name. Look at the way of writing the name. Right, first line I have given business of. That means you have to enter name of the business. Right? Let's assume this business name is Manuka, business of Manuka. Statement of financial position. Right? Second one, statement of financial position. Second line we have to write the statement name. First line we have to write name of the business. Second line we have to write name of the statement of financial position, right? Then third one we have to write the time period, right? Time period we have to write with the term as at. Definitely you have to use the term as at, right? Otherwise it's wrong. Statement of financial position as at 31st, let's take 31st December 2023, right? Look at the way I wrote the name. First line, you have to write the name of the business of Manuka. Second line, you have to write the statement name, statement of financial position. Third line, you have to write the time period as at 3rd December 2023, right? This is the way you have to write the name. If you correctly write the name, you can take half marks, right? Here half, and for the statement of profit or loss statement half, altogether 1 mark you can obtain if you correctly write the names of financial statements, right? So let's move how to complete this. Here first title I have given non-current assets, right? When you prepare the structure, first you have to write non-current assets, then better to leave 7 or 8 lines, because no matter with the space here, because very few things will come. Non-current, after writing non-current assets title, you better to leave 7 or 8 lines, right? Then write current assets. Here also again 6-7 lines. After that, you can write total assets. Total assets should be taken, right? Then write the title equity and liabilities. Under that, leave some again 5-6 lines. After that, non-current liabilities. 2-3 lines enough, because only one non-current liability will come for your level. 2-3 lines enough. Then later on, write down the title current liabilities. After that, you can leave some space. 4-5 lines enough. Finally, title should be total equity and liabilities. Here, our objective is to show the connection between the total assets and total equity and liability. That means at the end, total assets should be equals with the total equity and liability, right? We know that according to the basic accounting equation, if any business, total assets of the business is equals to equity plus liability, right? So let's write the content. Under non-current assets, we can write, let's write some examples under non-current assets. Let's write land and building, right? Then we can write another non-current assets. Let's write machinery. Another one we can write motor vehicle. Right? That's enough. Sometimes there may be furniture and fittings, office equipment, no matter. If it is related to non-current assets, you can enter here. After writing non-current assets, tangible non-current assets, you can write intangible non-current assets. Intangible non-current assets are investments and fixed deposits, right? fixed deposits. If the fixed deposit is less than 1 year, it comes under current. Like this, you can record. Here, you have to take the value here. Just mention some values here. To indicate the value, I am putting like this. Right. Now you can take the total to the other side. Right. Tangible non-current assets separately, intangible non-current assets separately. Likewise, you can take the balance to the other side. Total should be like this. Then mention the some values for investments and fixed deposit. That total also take to the other side. Total should be taken to the other side like this. Right? Okay, now you can write under the current assets. What are the current assets here? Let's write some current assets. We know that trade debtors comes under current assets. Trade debtors. Then we can write stock comes under current assets. Other than that, we can write accrued income. Accrued income comes under current assets. Expense comes under current liability. Right? Then cash and bank. Cash and bank means cash in hand. Bank means cash available at bank current account. Right? So directly we can take the answers like this. Okay, now let's indicate some amounts here like this. Then again, this total also should be taken to the other side. Right? Right, again draw a line here and take the total to the other side. Like this way, you can draw a line. Because next we need to calculate the total assets, right? Summation of non-current assets can be taken as the summation for the total assets, right? Here you have to take the total for the current assets altogether. Here, non-current tangible assets, non-current intangible asset total, then total of current assets. We can take the answer total assets, right? Like this, we can take the answer for total assets. Then you can put double line here. After total assets, after mentioning the value for the total assets, you can put double line here. Right. Like this, you can finish the first part of the statement of financial position. First part we have already finished. Okay, next we are going to move to the second part of the statement. I told you basically this statement included two parts. The first part is already we have finished, that is total assets, right? We are going to equal total assets value to the total equity and liability. Here total assets value should be equals with total equity and liability. Now here first part we already calculated total assets, non-current assets and current assets, right? First part non-current assets, second part current assets, right? Then again second part also we are going to calculate total equity and liability, right? So first you have to write the title equity and liabilities. Under that, first we are going to mention equity, right? Here you have to write capital asset first. Opening capital balance should be mentioned, right? Capital asset first. For that you have to add, when there's additional capital you have to add, right? Have to add additional capital. When there's additional capital, you have to add. Right? Normally, only 1-2 items will given, right? When there's additional capital, you have to add. And also, profit should be added. Add net profit. When there's loss, you have to deduct. Right? Profit. Add profit. Add net profit. Here you have to write add net profit. Add net profit. Right? When there's loss, you have to definitely deduct. Add net profit. When there's a loss, you have to deduct. Right? Then less drawings. Drawings should be deducted. Right? Here, let's put some symbols to represent the amounts. To represent the amounts, we have to mention like this. Capital balance I have mentioned like this, and we have to add additional capital, and net profit should be added. And also, when there's drawings, we have to deduct like this. Right? When there's drawings, we have to deduct like this. Right. Like this, you can take the answer. Capital. For the opening capital, you have to add additional capital. For that, you have to add net profit. When there's a loss, you have to deduct less drawings. Right now, you can take the answer. Now you can take the answer to the next column. Right? Likewise, you can draw a line. After recording drawing, you can draw a line like this. Then, to the other side, you can take the closing equity balance. Right? Closing equity, you can record like this. Okay. Then you can write, you can take non-current liability. You can write the title non-current liabilities. Right? Non-current liability title you can write. Under non-current liabilities, you can write, I told you only one non-current liability will come. That is bank loan. Right? Here, when there's only one title, here there's no any other non-current liabilities. So directly you can record that value into the last column. Right? No need to record it in here. Taken to the other side, directly you can record it into the last column, bank loan. Right? Then we have to record the current liabilities. That's why I asked you to keep only 2, 3, because only one non-current liability will come. Here then current liability. Under current liability, you can mention some current liabilities. Trade creditors, accrued expenses. Next one, let's mention bank overdraft. Right? These are the current liabilities comes under your level. Then here you can mention some figures like this. To represent the trade creditors, mention like this. Another figure to mention bank overdraft. Right? Now you can take the total to the other side. Now you can take the current liability total, right? Like this. Take the total. Here there are 3 totals. First total you have to consider this one. That is closing equity. This is for non-current liability. This is for current liability. Right? Total should be that all these 3 totals should be taken here as total equity and liability. Right? Now we need to take the total equity and liability total. So here total equity and liability equals the summation of closing equity, non-current liability total and non-current asset total. Sorry, non-current closing equity, non-current liability and current liability. Right? Closing equity, non-current liability and current liability total. Right? So this is the full structure. Total assets should be equals with this balance, total equity and liability. Here also you have to put double line, right? Like this, you have to put double line here. This is the full structure what we prepared for statement of financial position. First, we have to write the name by using 3 lines. First line, name of the business. Second line, name of the statement. Third line, time period. When you write the time period, definitely you have to use the term asset. Otherwise, it's wrong, right? Then first title should be non-current assets. Under non-current assets, you have to mention tangible non-current assets first, then intangible non-current assets. After that, you have to take the totals to the other side. Then current assets. Under current assets, you can mention what are the current assets, trade debtors, stock, accrued income and cash and bank. Have to take the total to the other side, and the summation of those 3 figures, we call it as total assets. Tangible non-current asset, intangible non-current asset and current assets, right? Then equity and liability. And equity and liability, capital asset first. Date should be mentioned, right? Opening capital plus additional capital. plus net profit minus drawings, right? When there's no additional capital given, no need to write the title, right? Non-current liability, only one non-current liability will be given, that is bank loan. So directly you can take that balance to the last column. Current liabilities, trade creditors, accrued expenses and bank overdraft. Can take the three balances total to the other side. Then finally we can take the total equity and liability. Finally, total equity and liability equals with total assets, right? This balance, total assets balance should be equals with total equity and liabilities.